So as I mentioned in the previous video, there's actually a question sort of opposite of that, right? The first video was about a 20-year-old. The next one's about somebody in their 50s that says they only want to work another 10 years, right? So what can you do? And this question really came out of the video talking about the magic of 4 rental properties. So I understand kind of the question, or hey, what about me kind of thing. So here you go. This is what I recommend. I actually have a couple of investors or buyers already doing this. It just kind of fits the mode. So we need to realize, right? If you have 10 years left, and that's your time horizon to invest, real estate investing, when you talk about a 30-year mortgage and inflation and all that stuff, not very helpful. But there's a way we can use this system to help you. So this is what I would recommend. I still would recommend 4 rentals. I'm going to recommend something I don't do, but this situation requires it, is a 15-year mortgage, and you'll see why in a minute. Usually I recommend people buying cash flow properties get a 30-year. In this case, because your time horizon is only 10 years, I'd get a 15. And this is why. If you only have 10 years left to work, I want to see you pay down as much as possible in that mortgage inside of 10 years. And this individual is not interested in cash flow, right? They would be okay with break even. I told them that we're not going to do an alligator, right? Which you heard me talk about dozens, if not hundreds of times. So in order to not do an alligator with a 15-year mortgage, I told them they're going to have to put 40% down, 40, which is a huge amount of money in many cases. But I told them this is the only way it works, right? You have 10 years left, which is awesome, but we got to step on the gas. So in theory, if there was a 180K house, right, they're going to be putting 72K down. Then with a 15-year mortgage, in the first 10 years, they're going to pay off a lion's share of that property. I don't know what it actually is, but let's just say they had a 108K mortgage. I bet you they'd pay off 60 grand, if not more. So if we do that for 4 properties, right, so they have, let's just say $40,000 left across 4 properties, and their 10 years are up and they're done. This is what happens. So they're going to have a choice right before they retire. They can stay as is, right? Maybe they want to live on their other investments for the first 5 years before these houses are paid off, right? Because they got a 15-year mortgage. So that's one option. I suspect that not a lot of people want to do that because they're likely doing this because they want the investments. So that's one thing they could do. But they could just hold tight. 2, they could sell one of the 4 and pay off the other 3. That could work, right? So instead of having 4 properties, they have 3, but they have 3 free and clear at the 10-year mark. Better than nothing, right? Pretty cool. 3, they could go back and refi all 4 of them and either pull cash out or just reduce the mortgage payment by recasting the loans that had only 5 years left into a 30-year note, which will explode cash flow, right? Won't be quite debt-free, but cash flow will go through the roof. They could go potentially just refi 1 and pay off probably 2 of them. So, right, there's lots of options they could do. But the key to someone who only has 10 years left that's in their 50s is they would need to be aggressive. They're going to need to, I would recommend taking a 15-year mortgage to maximize mortgage pay down, right? Maximize what the tenant's paying for you. Then at the 10-year mark, you're going to have some pretty cool options, right? I think the one that probably most people pick would be sell 1 and pay off 3. I totally get behind that. They could also do the refinance option. Totally get behind that. So again, this is a business that if you have that 10 years and you're willing to do the conservative and put a large down payment, because again, people were not doing alligator properties, is absolutely something you could do and feel very good about moving forward. So that's what I would do if I was in my 50s and had 10 years left. Hope that makes sense. Leave comments below because these are all subscriber-based questions, as I'd love to create more videos for you. Thanks.